I'm Sam.
I'm Ariana.
We're the Wicked Sisters.
And you're listening to the Wicked Sisters podcast.
Today we're talking about Goosebumps, so get your gooses ready. So we're back.
After we just laughed for like 10 fucking minutes over that stupid
fucking stupid shit. Like, I swear.
We're finally ready to get into this. Alright. So today we're going to talk about Goosebumps, something you guys probably know of.
Yep.
If not, Samantha, take it away.
Yeah, if you don't, Goosebumps is a children's horror series made by R.L. Stine, and it came out in, like, the early 1990s.
1990s.
That sounds terrible. Why did I even say it that way? That's horrible.
Anyways.
I meant, like, it came out in the 90s, okay?
In the 1800s. No. And it's, like, a crazy book series. And it's over, like,
there's 235 books in the series, so there's a fucking lot of them.
Too much for me to read, even now.
There's a ton
of them.
They're like
this thin.
I know.
They're still...
No, they're great. They're amazing. So one of my favorite books was Night of the Living Dummy, of course. And I think that's a lot of people's favorites, but it's just, I mean, you can't go wrong with Slappy.
Slappy
the Dummy.
Insert the cover right here so you guys can see it.
So, as a child, I thought that it was, like, fucking scary. I mean, it's pretty freaky looking.
Yeah.
If you've seen the cover, it's pretty freaky looking, and if you have, like, a fear of dolls or puppets and shit...
This ain't for you.
No, this ain't for the faint of heart.
And these are kids' books. These were recommended for, like, kids. I remember...
they were terrifying.
We used to go in, like, elementary school, we used to, like, have, like, the little, like, class library trips, so you'd go pick a book, and, like, they would always just be, like, out in the front, like, especially during Halloween.
Right.
And it would just creep you the
terrible.
fuck out. Like, you don't want to grab them, but, like, of course you grab them because...
Right. Well, being the fucking sick kids that we were at the time, you know, we thought these were awesome. We were like, these are fucking so cool.
Do they even, like, give kids those books now?
Who knows? I don't know.
Let us know if you have kids.
We haven't been in school in, like, forever. How would we know?
We're old.
We don't know.
That's why we're getting up there. In the 1900s.
I don't know why I said that. That sounds terrible. That sounds horrible.
Anyways,
completely off topic. But, so Slappy, that's the...
So
Slappy. Let's get back to Slappy. So Night of the Living Dummy, basically, it was two girls that find a dummy in a construction site out of all places. Like, why the fuck would there be a random dummy just sitting in a construction site?
Why are these kids going to a construction site in the first place?
Because they had nothing better else to do, Ariana. This is what we did in the 90s. We just went to construction sites and found weird dolls. And
we're okay with it. And the parents were like, okay, just be home when the streetlights are on.
Yep.
And that was it.
Yep. So, they go and they find this doll, okay, a puppet, and they take it back home with them, and both girls, like, they both love the doll, okay? But one kind of takes over, like, playing with it and hanging out with it a little bit more, and the other girl gets jealous, of course. So, that's kind of... Yeah, well, that's kind of where things start to get weird.
A little slappy.
Yeah, so they start to find out that Slappy has been doing, like, weird shit. Like, slapping people.
Slappy.
No, like, 100%. No, in the book, he fucking punches somebody. Or, like, he either punches or slaps her. I fucking swear, like, 100%. He's like really violent.
Pinocchio gone wrong.
He's really violent. He's, like, so violent. I don't know why. And then he calls people, like, nasty names. I mean, he pulls people's hair. He does, like, all sorts of stuff. All crazy stuff. And, of course, you know, the parents, they don't fucking believe them.
No,
they're just like, oh, it's just a doll. And
because parents apparently are oblivious in Goosebumps to where you, like, the kids will be like, Mom, there's a monster literally under my bed, and the parents will be like, it's just a nightmare, go to bed.
I know, I hated that. Like, especially in the TV
the kids
series.
Are smarter than the adults in the books and in the show.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And so he gets progressively violent over the, like, course of the book, and he actually, I think he like destroys one of the puppets that they had previously because he gets so fucking upset that he's not the only one in the house, so he fucking destroys the puppet, and then he just wreaks havoc for this fucking family.
Which is ironic, because if you go back to the like the TV show, it's this plot's it's kind of the same. It's just like, but
it's a little different.
The family has like a family talent show that they do like every Friday or something like that, and like this girl for some reason in the family is like obsessed with puppets, which is unhealthy in this sense, because she's just anyways. And then like her parents were like, well, since you're doing so good with this, we're gonna get you this creepy ass puppet from the antique store.
And he's freaky looking.
And
like,
then,
I mean, he's fucking
even in
creepy looking.
Yeah, and then like he starts, his name is also Slappy, and like he starts destroying like he writes over like the girl, like the sister's paintings, and then he like breaks the dad's guitar.
Yeah, no, he wreaks havoc. Like any family that he goes to, he just fucking like destroys their life.
And there's literally a part where these, like, they're all playing, like, this girl has her friends over, and they're playing, and, like, literally the puppet grabs onto the other friend and does not let go. And then even after that, if that happened to me, if I was the friend, I'd be like, yo, to the parents, like, this doll is fucking with me.
Well, but the thing is that the girl never saw, like, the doll, like, touch her. I think it was her sister that it grabbed, and her sister was, like, in tears. I mean, like, it grabbed her so hard that it, like, left a mark or something. And of course the girl doesn't believe the one girl.
She thinks it's like the other friend fucking with her, controlling the puppet, making it do stuff, but it wasn't.
No, and that's the creepy part.
Yeah.
Alright, so going back to the book series, I have to ask you, what's your favorite?
I think mine is Deep Trouble, which
that's a good one.
Chose specifically for the cover because of how fucking scary it is. It's like a shark with like a diver on it, and it's literally about like these two kids that go to like, I think it's like the Caribbean islands or something, like they go on vacation somewhere or something, and then they like go in the water, and there's like this humanoid fish thing, which has nothing to do with sharks, but like it's literally terrifying, and I couldn't finish it as a kid because I literally just didn't want to read it anymore, because I always read it like after school at night, and
no, absolutely.
I couldn't bring myself.
Anything with sharks and like the water, the ocean, you can forget
like,
about it.
I just went to the beach the other day, and
you saw dolphins, but you thought
these freaking teenagers that they were like yelled shark, and we were like, oh, they're fucking with us, or like they're fucking with something. I mean, we weren't swimming, but like then we looked and we're like, sure enough, fucking done. But then it turned out to be dolphins, because it was like
they were doing more like hoppy instead of just like, you know.
It was still scary, so I don't fuck with the ocean. I go ninkle. I was trying to say knee and ankle. I go ankle deep in the water. That's it. That's all I care about with the ocean.
So let's go into the TV series, because that's where the fun stuff is.
That's where the money is.
Yeah. So the TV series, is great. It is great. But the acting is atrocious.
It's subpar.
It is atrocious.
It's very cheesy.
It works for it. I don't know what it is about it, but it works for the series. And I have to talk about this one episode because it's just hilarious. And it's the one with Ryan Gosling in it. Okay?
Yes. Picture here.
Yes, Ryan Gosling is in it. He's the main character, and he plays a kid named Greg. And Greg basically finds this camera, and when he takes pictures of people or objects, it prints out and it shows like a disaster happening. So like if he takes a picture of a car, it'll show the car like completely totaled, even though the car in front of him is totally fine.
Which is terrifying.
Which is fucking scary.
Like some Final Destination
Pretty
shit going
much.
on.
Yeah, no, literally. And so he starts to notice that this camera is like fucky, is like weird, and he notices that it's fucky. It's fucky. You know what I mean? Like it's fucked up. And so
Jesus Christ.
And so after he takes these photos, the things happen. They come true. So when he takes a picture of a car and it shows that it got totaled, the next day it gets fucking totaled. He takes a picture of like one of his friends, and when it prints out, it doesn't show her at all. And then all of a sudden she just fucking disappears the next day and they can't fucking find her. And there's this one scene that literally kills me every time because it's the police officer scene.
Yes.
Do you know?
Yes. Okay.
Yes, dude.
Send it home.
All right. So the police officer scene is fucking hilarious because
It's atrocious.
Dude, the acting is so bad. So basically, after his friend disappears, the police officers come to his house because he was the last person that saw her. So of course they're gonna go over there. Now, what he does in this scene makes him look like such a criminal. Like, why? I don't know why.
What was going through his head at the time?
I don't know.
Like, make myself look as suspicious as possible.
No, 100%, because they start asking him questions, and he starts, like, acting so fucking weird, and I'm like, dude, stop acting weird, you're making it worse
like
for yourself.
Like, tweaking out and shit,
no,
and the police officers are there like, sure, bub.
Yeah, and then, you know, they're like, okay, and then they, like, ask him, they're like, oh, so where were you yesterday, and blah, 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 and stuff, and, you know, and he tries to, like, make up this story, and it just doesn't sound right, and I'm like, this kid is gonna land himself in jail. I don't know why they didn't arrest him on the spot, because he was so fucking, like, it was so bad, and I'm gonna try and post, like, a little clip in here.
Of how freaking stupid this kid was.
It was terrible, and I was like, how is he not in jail right now? Like, he made him sound so, like, he made himself sound so obvious that he knew something was up.
Greg Banks?
Yeah.
Do you know Sherry Walker?
Sherry? Yeah, she's one of my best
When
friends.
was the last time you saw her?
Earlier today at her house.
Do you know where she is now?
At her house, I guess.
No, she's not. She's missing. Disappeared.
I knew it.
What do you mean you knew it?
I mean that I knew something must have happened to her.
Oh, how'd you know that?
Well, because you guys are here.
Are you telling us the truth? Listen, kid. You better not be lying to us, because if you are, we'll find out.
So, I feel like I didn't say the title of the episode, but it's Say Cheese and Die.
If you don't know this by now, we have short-term memory loss.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So welcome to the Wicked Sisters podcast. Today we're talking about Goosebumps. So when it comes to my favorite episode, it's kind of basic. It's the one that's on my shirt right now.
You know what? That is a good one, though.
It really is. I used to
a
have
good
nightmares as a
one.
kid. So it's called The Haunted Mask. And it's basically about this girl named Carly Beth.
Okay.
Who is literally the most chickeny person you could ever fucking meet in your life. She is scared of everything. She's scared of her own shadow. And basically, she is getting made fun of all the time because of how afraid she is at literally everything. I mean, I forgot. There was one scene where she literally was afraid.
Weren't they in the cafeteria? Yes! They were, like, in the cafeteria, and these kids, like, played a prank on her. I forgot what they did, though. Like,
did they put worms in her? They put worms in her sandwich or something like that, and she literally was like, oh my gosh! Whereas, like, I feel like for me, I would be like, what the fuck? And then that would be it. No. But this girl literally starts, like, crying and stuff.
In that scene alone, if I go and I take a bite out of my sandwich and there are live worms in there, and I see some people giggling...
Start throwing hands.
No, I don't care who's in the way, everybody's getting punched.
There's gonna be a fucking food fight.
No, dude, everyone's getting knocked the fuck out. Like, I will not stand for that. Like, that is... First of all, that is disgusting.
Worms?
Why would you do that? That is nasty. Out of all the pranks that you could do, like, that is just disgusting. That's not even funny at that point.
It's just disgusting.
No, it's just nasty.
Okay, so now I kind of feel bad for her. Now that we're dissecting this a little bit.
Because Ariana was about to go ham. She's like, I don't like this girl. She's terrible.
Because, okay, second point in place. She's literally, her little brother has a chicken costume for Halloween, because Halloween's coming up in the episode. She's literally terrified of this fucking chicken costume. For what?
Why?
Here's the chicken costume. Literally for what?
Like, why?
I feel like in her past life she might have been like a chicken, like in the slaughter, like, or something like that. Like, well, okay, circling back. So basically, she keeps getting made fun of for being so scared, and she goes to like this Halloween store and she picks out this. She doesn't even pick it out. She looks and she's looking.
She go like in the back? She goes in the back room, I think.
This guy.
Right?
So there's like this creepy guy, and he's like, "You can take one of these masks. I'm about to close, but you can take one of these masks." And she's like,
Right.
"I want one of those masks in the back." And he's like, "No, you can't. These are special." And they were like these creepy, like demonic looking masks. And we'll put a couple up here if we can.
Right.
But what does she do? He's like a mafia man or something. He gets like a creepy call. He gets like a creepy call. And so he goes away. And of course, what does she do? She snatches the mask and like throws money at him. And what does she do? She runs home, she goes, and she puts the mask on for Halloween, only to find out that this shit is not coming off. Her friends start noticing that her personality is changing as well. Well, it turns out this is a haunted mask. Hence the title. Go fucking figure. And she just starts wreaking havoc. Like, she literally starts trying to, like, hurt her friends and, like, just scare people for no reason. And, you know, well, I'm not going to give you the ending just in case you haven't seen it, but it's one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah,
for
no,
sure.
it's great.
I used to have nightmares, and even the part 2, like, where all the masks start, like, surrounding her and shit. I had a nightmare like that once.
No, that episode creeped me out so bad, and I was scared. I'm not even joking. After watching that episode, I was so scared to put on one of those masks just for fear that it wouldn't come off, because I mean, I remember a scene in the TV series that the girl, she goes to one of her friend's house and she goes to try and take it off and it doesn't come off, and her friend's like looking for
like the
lining, and she was like, "There's no line, it's fused with your skin." And I'm like, nope,
fucking
I'd
terrifying.
be out. I'd be like, nope, this kid.
Peace out, Girl Scout. Nope.
No, thank you.
Yeah, so definitely take a look at that one.
Yeah, that's a great episode. Right, so this next one is called Cuckoo Clock of Doom, and we have to talk about this one because it's great. It's definitely, it's
annoying.
It's one of my favorites. It's not my favorite, but it's one of my favorites. And basically, so this father, he brings this clock home, okay? And he tells the kids that he found it at some antique store.
Never
not
trust
to
an
touch
antique
it.
store.
No, and he literally said that the guy said it was cursed. And he brings it into his home anyway.
He's like, you know what, I'll take a chance.
He like literally, I mean, just completely oblivious, brings it into his home, and then he tells his kids not to touch it.
Yeah,
But
and he
what
has
the
two
fuck-
kids. He has two kids. He has a son and a daughter, and
Yeah.
the daughter is like this
Horrid.
demon child who like
Horrid.
picks on like the older brother for no reason.
Right.
And this kid's birthday is coming up, and basically, he like. What does he do?
So what happens is that she plays a prank on him, and on his birthday,
and
like,
the cake,
and it was
he like
really
falls
mean.
in the cake. He gets cake all over his face. His friends are laughing at him, and so when the dad brings in the cuckoo clock, the kids, he's like, "Don't touch it," and
Right.
he like fucks with it. So he basically hits the little clock and turns back time.
And when he turns back time, it's also aging him backwards. So the next day when he wakes up, he's like 6 years old. And he was about like 13, I think, like 12,
like 12
or 13. Yeah, 12 or 13. And the next day he wakes up and he's 6 years old. And his parents have no idea. Like, they think.
Or wait, no, like so the first time it happens, he like relives the day over and over again a couple of times, and then he starts aging backwards.
Yeah. And you know, like, when he ages backwards, his parents are aging backwards.
His dad starts having hair again.
And
his mom looks cool.
Right, right. And then his sister's also getting younger.
And he's like, "Fuck yeah, this is great. I don't want to deal with my sister."
Right,
of course
right. And we won't spoil the ending, but
No.
it's like, it's pretty crazy.
It's interesting. It's Back to the Future meets antique horror vibes. It's a really good episode.
It's really awesome. And there's this one scene, the hallway running scene. I'm
The
sorry.
CGI in this episode, it's on Netflix. If you guys, the whole series is on Netflix.
I will post like a clip just because it's so fucking terrible.
He's just running.
The slow running and the fucking like weird
demon
ass
clock. That used to scare me as a kid. I used to be scared of cuckoo clocks after this freaking episode.
That scene literally was terrible. It was so fucking hilarious. I was in tears watching that now as an adult.
Yeah.
But I'm sure like as a kid I probably thought that was like the scariest fucking shit like
I feel like
ever.
as a kid, anything taller and bigger than you
Was
at
scary.
night was just terrifying.
Yeah.
Like it could have been like a 10-foot tall Gumby. And it was
Right.
still, or like Chuck E. Cheese or something like that. And it's like, it's terrifying.
Right.
Being like something tall.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So like that scene, I will post it on here because it's great.
Mhm.
It's great, but it's atrocious at the same
Yeah,
time. Like the
yeah.
CGI was just
Yeah, and like I was saying, you can watch all of these on Netflix.
yes.
I know they have DVDs of them.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, can we talk about... Okay, so this isn't... It's Goosebumps related because it's from R.L. Stine, but he made a movie called
The Haunting
Hour.
The Haunting Hour, yep.
Y'all, it's with Emily Osment from Hannah Montana.
Yep.
And this is exactly what I've based my look off of these days.
No, 100%.
When I look back at like what made me the way I am, it's Gwen from Total Drama Island,
Oh yeah.
the Hex Girls,
Yep.
and this bitch. Literally, this
Yep.
movie is one of my favorite movies, and I watch it every Halloween. And it's basically about this girl who she has like a younger brother, and they have this house, and they just moved, and she has to go to a new school and stuff, and so she's kind of
and she's this very gothy looking emo like girl. She has like the whole goth style
Yeah.
down and stuff. So she gets made fun of because of the way she looks, of course.
and so she decides once again, it's almost kind of based off of like the Haunted Mask a little bit, kind of inspired.
Right,
She
right,
goes to this Halloween store, and it's run by the guy from Saw.
Oh
He,
yeah.
like, runs the
I
shop or whatever.
remember.
Dude, I'm having all these memories. We're gonna have to watch it again.
Gosh.
And he literally was like, "Oh, you want to like find something scary to like scare people, right? Well, here, read this book. It's called The Evil Thing."
Yep.
And it's fucking dude, I made a notebook of the evil thing.
Okay, so this is how fucked up we were as like kids. When we would watch horror movies, we would literally reenact certain scenes and stuff, and like we would, because our imagination was just like
Wild and rampant.
wild. And so we literally made a replica book of
I
the
wish I
fucking
could find
of the
it.
evil thing from that movie.
And the premise is that if you read the book out loud, then the monster in the book is gonna come out and kill you.
Right.
And basically, you know, you kind of put two and two together on how the movie goes.
Right.
But dude, what the fuck were we doing as kids? I remember
we were so bad.
I was so stupid that I had the book and I was on the bus and I slid it underneath the bus seat when no one was looking, and so when the kid sat next to me, I was like, this is my time to shine. I was an actress as a kid. I took the book, I was like, what the hell is this? And I opened the book and I'm like, do you see this? And we started flipping through the pages, and this kid got so freaked did I ever tell you this story?
No!
He got so freaked the fuck out, and then me just like,
What?
Yeah.
That is hilarious. So he
So if
actually
you were the
thought,
kid that sat on
he
the
actually
bus,
thought it was real?
we
Oh,
were in
no,
like fifth-
honey.
I don't even know when the movie,
Honey.
I don't even know when the movie came out, but it was like middle school or elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
Young enough to make some trouble.
That is hilarious. I never knew that. That is fucking hilarious. Oh,
Those were the
us
days.
as kids. Now you guys
Now
know
you guys get
what
a
we
picture.
were like. Yep. So, going back to the series.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to go on
No,
that
no,
splurge,
no,
but it
no.
is by R.L.
It
Stine,
is
so it's definitely
yeah.
something you guys should look at. It's a good movie.
It's a great movie. I love it. So I have to talk about my favorite episode, and it's called Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns.
See, I haven't seen that.
See,
I haven't
dude,
seen that.
I'm
The one I
surprised
haven't
that you
seen.
haven't seen it because
I'll watch
it's
it after
great.
this.
No, it's so good. I love this one because the production. I think I don't know why, but I felt like they put more effort into this one because between like the scenes and the actual people that are in the costumes and stuff, it actually looks really good. It's one of the better made Goosebumps
Is it one of the
episodes.
newer episodes?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know. But basically, so this is how it goes. It's Halloween night, and there's these two kids, and they're out on Halloween, but they're really upset because every Halloween they get bullied by these kids. And so their friends, like, while they're on their way, like, back to one of their houses or something, their friends that had moved away from, like, a while ago, they came back out of nowhere, which was kind of weird, but, like, they come back, and they overhear them about the two bullies and stuff, and they're like, yo, like, we're back in town, let's fucking scare them and stuff, and of course, you know, they're like, hell yeah, let's do this, and blah, 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 and so...
There's always, like, there's a couple of rude-ass kids always in every episode.
I know!
Every episode, there's at least one kid that's like, let's fuck up something.
Right,
Let's screw something
And then
up.
it's so funny because the way, like, the bullies act, you know, like, they act, like, so not, like, bully-like at
Hey,
all. Yeah, like, they're, like, standing there and they're like, yeah, we're bullies.
You're lame.
Yeah, and it's just like, it's like, come on.
It's like, who raised you?
Yeah.
Who raised
And
you?
so they go to like scare these kids, and they all get dressed up and all that stuff, and they all meet back up in the same place, but the two kids that had moved away, they're in these like crazy ass pumpkin costumes, and I mean like they're really good, like I mean it's really realistic, like not realistic, but it just looks really good compared to like what other episodes of Goosebumps look like. I was shocked at how good it was.
You were shocked that they finally had the funds.
That they had the funds.
for some good costumes.
So, yeah, so they come back in these, like, crazy-ass costumes, and they bring the bullies along with them to trick-or-treat. And so they're like,
I like where this is going.
We know this cool, like, neighborhood that gives out all these candies and all this stuff, like big candy bars and blah, blah, blah. And so, of course, the bullies are like, oh, hell yeah, let's go.
You tell any kid that any house has big candy bars,
no,
and that kid's just gonna defeat all of their morals. They're going to that house. They're gonna get their candy.
Yeah, 100%. And so this is what happens. They go through the woods, and they get to this, like, secret neighborhood that no one has ever seen before. It just pops up out of nowhere.
Westview.
Yep.
If you're into WandaVision, Westview.
It just pops up out of nowhere. And so, you know, everybody's having fun. They're going to all these houses and stuff. They get their candies. And at the end of the night, they're like, okay, yeah, we're done. We're tired. And so we're gonna head on out. And the two pumpkin kids are like, They're like, bitch. No, you ain't going nowhere. They're like, keep going. They're like, go trick-or-treat more. There's still a ton of houses. And when they look, there's like another row of houses that they haven't even gone to. But they're like, our bags are so full, we can't do anything. So they literally grab their bags, dump it all out, and they're like, go and trick-or-treat again. And so they're like making these kids trick-or-treat like
forever.
all night. No, the night doesn't end.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, it's fucking creepy, and I don't want to, like, spoil the ending and stuff, because the ending has, like, a crazy twist, but yeah, no, it was terrifying, because, like, they were like, yeah,
that sounds like
you're
a
not
great
leaving.
Time.
You think it's a great time until your legs are, like,
melting
they're
off.
done, and you
Shit.
can't hold your freaking bag of candy anymore.
Dude,
but
I miss trick-or-treating.
I know, right? I mean, we can
This
still
is just gonna turn into a therapy episode of me
we can still
crying.
trick-or-treat. What are you talking about?
My
I
mom
can pass.
trick-or-treated when she was pregnant with me.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's
so,
great.
I feel like nowadays, though, like, parents will literally kind of, like, give you the side eye. Like, fuck you.
Oh, yeah, like, if
If
you're
I
like
want to trick-or-treat, I'm gonna trick-or-treat.
Yeah, it's like, whatever.
I like passing
I
out
look
the
like a kid.
candy.
I look like a kid, so I
Right.
can pass.
You're
We
like,
both
4 foot nothing. That's why.
So I can pass. I just don't have to put makeup and stuff. I'll take off the makeup. Dude, you know, put a little costume on, they will never know.
One of
They
these
never
days, we're gonna
know.
have to make an episode about, like, our Halloween experiences.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be...
Oh, yeah. No, that's another story.
You're
for
gonna
another
need
time.
your teacup for that one.
And we're kind of getting close to our cutoff time once again.
Yeah.
Because you know us, we can't stop fucking talking.
Dude, we could talk about every
Oh my
single
god, we
episode.
haven't even scratched the surface. There's so many episodes. And like Ariana said, you can watch it on Netflix.
I'm sure they have DVDs somewhere.
Right, yeah,
or
definitely.
bootlegged websites.
Right.
Nowadays, you can find them literally
You can
anywhere.
literally find them anywhere. And yeah, so they're really great. We love Goosebumps, as you
Yeah.
can tell.
Definitely take a look. It's
Yeah, and let
something
us
for
know.
everyone.
Yeah, let us know down below what your favorite episode is.
Mhm.
If you've ever seen Goosebumps, have you read the book? And so the next episode that we're going to do, I don't really know what we're gonna do just yet.
No, we have a little trick up our sleeve.
We do. Well, we have so many things that we want to do, that we want to talk about. So, yeah, well, it'll be a surprise next time, all right? So, we will see you guys in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye, Wickeds.